Today we're going for ramen in Tokyo at Ippudo, which is a really popular chain in Japan. This branch in Shinjuku has plant-based options for vegans and vegetarians, and there's a choice. There are actually 3 other branches that have plant-based options. I'll tell you about them in a minute, but first let's see what it's like. It's in a department store. This floor has several places to eat. It's a bit like a food court, but with separate areas for each restaurant, and it's designed like an indoor park. Like all the best places in Japan, the menu's quite small, with 2 regular meat ramen options and 2 plant-based options that are really clearly marked, plus optional toppings to customise it. All the toppings you could want in a bowl. So the veggie options, there's veggie tonkotsu, shoyu ramen, and gyoza. You order at the counter, take a buzzer, and pick it up when it's ready. The menu's on the counter, so if you don't speak Japanese, you can just point at what you want. Here's our ramen. Phil's got the regular tonkotsu.
I think I had a bit of a misordering. I thought it came with the nori and bits as well.
Oh.
The original. So it looks a bit empty.
You would have gone for more toppings if you'd known.
Yeah, I just sort of misread it. So it's my fault.
These things happen.
Yeah.
So that's with the extra chashu pork. We've got veggie gyoza, which are quite difficult to find in Japan, so we've gone for the full set of 10. You can have 5 or 10. And I've got the veggie tonkotsu. Looks good. The broth's made of soy milk and stock made of vegetables, seaweed and porcini mushrooms. At first I thought the veggie meat looked a bit dry on the top, but it's actually fine once it goes into the broth. It's got kind of a spongy-ish texture, but not chewy at all. And the broth is really creamy and rich. This is probably one of the best veggie ramens, I think. The noodles are really nice and firm at the moment as well. Usually they cook a little bit in the hot broth as you eat. They have quite a good selection of condiments here. So we've got the vinegar, which seems like an odd choice to go with ramen, but it actually tastes really good. And I put some extra sesames on mine. There's ramen's exclusive pepper, ramen seasoning for kaidama. Kaidama is when you get an extra serving of noodles. We've also got some benishoga, pickled ginger. Last time we were here they had garlic cloves and a garlic crusher, which was a really nice touch, but they don't have that this time. Probably a good move because it is quite early. Well, it's early lunchtime.
This is pretty good. As ramen chains go, I think it's one of the better ones. Not that I've been to too many, compared to Ichiban. I think the environment there is better. Here you are in a kind of food mall, so it's kind of losing something. And there you do get to choose exactly what you want, how you want it, so you get to choose the firmness and everything. So that's really good, but I found the broth there to be, it was nice, just not delicious. Right, I don't think it was the best example. The broth here is really good. I like the fact you can add a bit of vinegar to taste to it as well. Servings are relatively small, but still a good meal. So it's really good, and it's great that we can come here, have a veggie and a meat option, because I really like ramen. And it's a shame there aren't many places where we can go and eat that together.
Quite often places that have a veggie ramen option aren't the most authentic, traditional Japanese style, which is fine. There's all sorts of different types. But I really like to try traditional Japanese food if I can, which can be quite difficult when you're vegetarian. So as Phil said, it is great that we can come here and both enjoy it together. And this really is one of my favourite veggie ramens. My number 1 favourite is Tea's Tantan. That's still the best with their sesame ramen, but I do really like this one as well. It's got a great flavour and I love all the condiments. So there are branches of Ippudo all around Japan, but only this one branch has the vegetarian ramen, and that's in Lumine Est department store in Shinjuku. It's right on Shinjuku station. Be careful because there are several Lumine department stores in the same area. The one you want is Lumine Est. It's on the 8th floor, which is a floor just of restaurants. To help you find it, Lumine Est is directly over the east exit of Shinjuku Station. Turns out this isn't the only Ippudo store that has a plant-based option. The veggie tonkotsu is only at this Shinjuku Lumine Est store, but they currently have spicy miso veggie ramen at another store in Tokyo, right by Yurakucho Station, at Ippudo in Ginza Inn's 2 shopping mall. It's also in Kyoto at their Kyoto Karasuma Karasuma branch and in Kanazawa at their Korinbo store. That may change in future, so check their website on the menu page, translate it to English, and it's in the section about ramen that's only available in some stores. Last time I went to the Shinjuku store last year, they had a wider selection, and I tried the spicy miso ramen they have in Ginza, Kyoto and Kanazawa. It was also really good. On to the price. The bill was 3,730 yen total for the 2 bowls of ramen, one with extra chashu pork, the serving of 10 gyoza and 2 soft drinks. It's slightly more than ramen in some places, but I think it's still very reasonable. So this is probably my second favourite ramen in Japan. The ambiance could be better. It is a bit upgraded from a regular food court, but I think the food more than makes up for it. It's also really easy to get to, right on Shinjuku Station, which you'll surely be passing through at some point during your stay in Tokyo. There's a whole list of restaurants in Tokyo with vegetarian options on my website, cakeswithfaces.co.uk. It focuses on Japanese styles of food, so you can enjoy the local cuisine, not just brown rice and salads. The link's in the description. So I'll leave you with a souvenir stamp we found on our way to take the train. We're at Shinjuku Station and we found a stamp. Shinjuku Station is a massive station. It's the busiest one in the world, so I'm amazed we managed to find this. It's in the JR ticket office. There are lots of ticket offices in Shinjuku Station because it's such a huge station. This is the JR ticket office, the Midori no Madoguchi. We've just been walking between Lumine Est and the Odaku line. They've got special paper here that you can stamp if you don't have a book. That's quite well. There's some skyscrapers around Shinjuku. I don't know why it's got chilies on it though. What's the significance of chilies to Shinjuku? Turns out Naito chili peppers were originally grown in Shinjuku way back in the 17th and 18th centuries when the land was used for farming. People grew chili peppers as seasoning for soba noodles. Now you'd never know that such a busy area of Tokyo was once farmland. So there you go, souvenir stamps helped us learn something. I have a video all about collecting stamps if you want to know more about it. And I'll see you next week on Thursday with more videos about Japan.